breaking NFL news coming out at Los Angeles Rams linebacker Bobby Wagner and the organization have agreed to mutually part ways. This is big news because one, the league year hasn't started yet, but they cut him to save some money on the salary cap. But it's only 1 year into a 5-year deal that he just signed last offseason after he was let go by Seattle. And it's not because of a lack of talent, because Bobby Wagner has been one of the best linebackers in this league for a while. With him hitting the open market, I'm sure the competition will be robust. I'm sure at his age, he's going to be looking for a certain situation that's probably more ideal for him. But I want to talk about in this video if the Panthers should actually pursue Bobby Wagner in free agency, because there may be a few connections here or there that may give the Panthers an inside track to be able to land this guy. We're going to talk about all that and more, and we're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I'm bringing you a recap and analysis of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL on this channel. And what I do here, man, I do all kind of things like film breakdowns, news updates just like this. And like I said, I already made my video talking about what potential free agents the Panthers should add. But obviously with the offseason coming up, new stuff is going to come, everything with new information. We make new takes. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm on top of that stuff. So if you don't want to miss anything, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon. That's going to make sure you get a notification when I drop these videos, because Bobby Wagner, dude, he's a very polarizing figure that's going to be on the free agency market. So I want to get you guys' opinion. Do you think the Panthers should go after Bobby Wagner? He is of a very ripe age, like the old folks say, a ripe age of 33. So he's a little bit long in the tooth, but his play has not dropped off whatsoever. I mean, Bobby Wagner, it was just a financial thing for him. It wasn't more so of him not having a good year. It wasn't, because Bobby Wagner is still a top-notch linebacker. I mean, according to PFF, this guy was the top-ranked linebacker with a 90.7 defensive rating. That's crazy. At the age of 33, this guy is a seasoned vet, and I know I've had my fair share of arguments on Twitter about who's the better linebacker, Luke Kuechly or Bobby Wagner. Obviously, I'm biased for particular reasons, but I still think Luke Kuechly is the best. But Bobby Wagner is damn near a close second, because this guy, he's good at tackling. He can get after the passer when you need him to. He's a solid vet. With the Panthers, with the situation they have going on at linebacker, I know we talked about if they should bring back Shaq Thompson, because we know his cap number because of restructuring is going to be around $24 million. My proposed question was, hey, if you cut Shaq, what is the answer that you're going to get in his place? And with the money that you save with Shaq leaving, what are you going to do with it? And you can restructure and extend him and spread that cap hit over. That was my proposal. And I didn't think you could find somebody for the cheaper price that could replace Shaq, because he's still a top-notch linebacker. However, like I said, with new information becomes new ideas. And my idea here is Bobby Wagner could be that guy. Because if you look at his contract that he signed with the Rams, it was $20 million guaranteed. It was 5 years, $50 million with $20 million guaranteed. But the cap hit was not that bad. According to whatever your favorite salary cap website, he was only set for a $12.75 million cap hit coming up in this season. And the years going forward was $12 million after that, 11.5 and $12 million there. Very affordable numbers for the best linebacker, according to PFF, in the league. So that's definitely money saved from Shaq's contract, and you get an upgrade. The only pushback is he's a lot longer in the tooth than Shaq. He has about, 4 years on Shaq? I think Shaq's about 29 or so. But it's just, what do you want to do? Because Bobby Wagner is going to want to go to the right situation. When I say the right situation, probably a contender, and the Panthers really aren't that right now. But what is the goals for the Panthers? Because obviously we know Bobby Wagner was a longtime Seahawk, but guess who was on the scouting department when Bobby Wagner was drafted? Yes, that's right, Scott Fitterer, the current GM of the Carolina Panthers. So you see the connection. You picking up what I'm putting down. I'm sure Scott Fitterer still got the same number for Bobby Wagner, but I don't know if Bobby Wagner pretty much deleted everybody from Seattle out of his contacts after the way things ended there. But not just that, Dan Morgan was actually working for Seattle as well up until 2017. So two guys in the front office that we have connections to Bobby Wagner. Of course, Thomas Brown, our new offensive coordinator, was an assistant head coach for the Rams last year. And of course, our defensive backs coach, Jonathan Cooley, was a member of that Rams defensive staff last year as well. So there's about 4 or 5 different connections that could bring Bobby Wagner here. Now, the thing is, like I said, Bobby Wagner is the top rated linebacker in the league. The money is pretty affordable, but the long-term prospects is not a long-term answer. He could be brought in to mentor Brandon Smith, who we hope is going to take that next step this year as he gets more playing time and experience. Do the Panthers go to the second round and draft a young linebacker as well? Because you're going to need some backers for this 3-4 defense and the multiple fronts that we use and stuff. I'm sure they try to bring in some linebackers that maybe fit their mold. They're a little bit younger. So Bobby Wagner could be a great mentor because he's one of the best linebackers of all time. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying that. But will Bobby Wagner be interested? That is the question, because the Panthers are definitely not a contender, and with his age, he probably is not in the mood for a rebuild. So, maybe we'll see what happens. There's a lot of connections, but I honestly, if you want to get my honest opinion, I don't see the likelihood of it happening. Not because that it's not doable, because on paper, with his talent, his production, and the money it costs, that'd work out. But there's going to be a heavy market for Bobby Wagner, so I'm not exactly sure if the Panthers really can compete with that. I don't know if they really can afford to get into a bidding war. I'm a big guy that says that the salary cap is a myth. However, I think Panthers, they could probably spend their money in other places on younger talent, because Bobby Wagner is a piece you add to a championship contender to help put you over the top. The Panthers, I think they'll very well will win the division and make the playoffs next year, but championship, just not there yet, because you don't have the quarterback and stuff like that. So there's still other options that you need to address. But I am a big proponent. Like I said, my philosophy for the Panthers this offseason is to spend your money on the defense. Get some guys that can run a Giro Avero's defense. Get those guys. And then use your draft picks on offense. Get your quarterback. Get you a tight end. Get you some speed on the inside for a slot receiver. Build some depth in the interior offensive line since you have some injuries there. So that's just my theory. So this will kind of fit into that. But like I said, the interest has to be mutual. I know we have this great coaching staff. We're very confident in our front office. We're just going to really put ourselves to the test this free agency if they can pull in some big names like Bobby Wagner, if he's a target, that is. But we'll really get to see, because we spend all this money on coaches. How does that translate over to free agency and enticing players? Because it's not just about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmys and Joes. Yes, the players. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, you guys let me know how you feel about Bobby Wagner down below in the comments, especially after I brought up his PFF rating as the #1 linebacker in the league and his previous contract that was only $12 million. Does that change your perspective on him? Do you want to bring in Bobby to get rid of Shaq, even though he's 33 years old and old? Let me know. Without further ado, make sure you are subscribed. My name is Aaron Duncan. I'll see you next time.